Welcome back to the W.T.F. Oh, it's out tonight. I'll tell you that. Here we are in the second week of December. Oh, hi, Santa.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Santa. Man, I can't believe it's December already. What happened? I realized going into this season, there are kind of two emotions, right? There's a happiness, the parties, the fun, and there's the chaos that we have to shop, have to get new nice clothes that fit, which is a tough one. Families coming to town to see you, or you're going to see them. Chaos is what it is. Jen, how do you feel about the holidays?
I love the holidays. The mess and everything. The panic, all of it.
The panic and everything?
Yes.
Oh, you're all set with the clothes for the holidays? You have to wear You're
yeah.
good? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Not stressful for you at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Now, time's marching on. Let's get to this week's WTF. Jen, hit the intro. Welcome to the WTF, Where's the Focus podcast. I'm going to bring you a weekly short message on where you put your focus as it relates to sales and building successful business relationships. Knowing where your focus goes, your energy flows. I'm Dan Manginelli, the author of the books Wake Up, Jumpstart the Life You've Always Had in Mind, and Shake It Up, Big Dreams and Bold Choices on the Road to Success. I'm a national speaker on staying motivated and inspired with the right mindset and coach top salespeople around the nation. So let's get going with WTF. Guess what, Jen?
What?
Our guest canceled last minute.
Why?
Maybe they don't want.
What happened?
Maybe they look at the subscribers and say, like, it's not going to give me enough juice to actually promote what I'm saying. But that's it. It's just me and you. So you know what? You get to interview me today. What do you think of that?
That's so exciting. That's
So
my happy
this is what we're doing.
face.
You know what? You're getting the talent seat too. We're switching seats. You come over here. Come on. Oh man, you got a lot of hair, and I don't have any.
I know.
Your headset.
This is very small.
There's a lot going on in their head. That's all right. Let me make sure. I want to put your microphone to my mouth because you that didn't sound right. It's all right.
What?
Well, welcome everybody to the WTF. Welcome. This is Jen's day at the WTF. Go ahead. It's all on you now.
Hello, my name is Jen. I am so nervous. I don't know why you did this to me.
It's okay.
I am uncomfortable. I'm not very. I'm very shy.
Part of my deal, though, is to push people outside of their comfort zone, right? So this is a little outside. I know you, and I have no other guest. and I
so I am the plan Z.
What better guest could be on the show than me?
That's true. That's true.
There's things that people will learn about me now that maybe they never knew.
And so will I.
Okay, so hit me up. What do you?
Are you ready?
I'm ready to be interviewed.
Well, for today.
First of all, I guess we already did the intro, so they know who I am. But go ahead. You could go ahead.
You are. Today, I'm here with Dan Manginelli, who is the talent of this podcast, as you may know, for the past 30 episodes. And if you're not watching them, make sure you tune in now.
Was that your DJ voice?
I don't know.
I liked it, though. Yes, please subscribe. But go ahead. Hit me up.
Okay.
What do we got? What's my first question?
Question number 1.
This isn't a dating game, but go ahead. Question number 1. Yes.
I feel like this is how people do it. But how did you get into the business?
How did I get into the business I'm in? So I'm in the mortgage industry. I've been in the mortgage industry 36 years. Believe it or not, I got in through a thank you card when I was just getting out of high school and I was playing a little football, and then after that, I realized that I'm not fast as I thought I was, and I wanted to go to work. And my dad at that time owned a mortgage company called Marina Mortgage, and I said, Dad, I want to come work for you. And he said, go fish. And so you think, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Greatest thing you ever did. So at that time, one of his employees that I knew when I was probably about 5 or 6 years old owned a mortgage company. And he had sent a thank you card to my dad for getting him into the mortgage company. And in that card, it had said, if you know anybody, or not, what he said is, if there's anything I could ever do for you, let me know. And he had no idea what was going to happen because he then my dad called him and said, yeah, you can hire my son. That would be awesome. And then 36 years later and 2 companies later of my partner that I've had for that period of time, we have been together for that long. So I got into the business from a thank you card, created a relationship that's been a lifelong relationship with my partner, which you know is John.
Thank you card.
All from a
So
thank you card.
you were 18?
I was 18.
Wow. Hey, when I started in the business too, I had just turned 19.
Look at that.
We're pretty similar, didn't you know?
Because we're the same age too, which is awesome.
I mean, I have a couple grays. So.
Okay. Well, I'll take gray. I just got no hair. So does that sufficiently answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Problem.
I'm glad I learned that today.
Okay.
If you could be in a different profession, what would it be? And why?
A completely different profession.
Yes.
Well, my childhood dream, since I was a little kid, is to play football. Right? I did a report that I did as a kid that I was going to play in the National Football League. I played football from when I was probably 5 or 6, Pop Warner and Junior All-American. That profession obviously is dated as in the fact that you can only play for so long. So if I couldn't do what I'm doing now, I would be in some sort of sales. There's no doubt about it. I would probably be in a leadership. I think consulting from where I am now into the knowledge of having 2 businesses that were built and then we sold. I think that's if it wasn't in the profession I'm still in right now, would probably be in some sort of board of directors or on some consulting.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information.
Oh, you're welcome.
I was thinking, I don't know.
What do you think I was going to say? A musician?
Like a
juggling
golfer
market?
or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not good enough to do that. So I'd have to think those are great professions I'd like to be in. Like a dream one?
But you mean something realistic. That would be a realistic.
Yeah, couldn't say I was going to play in the NBA. 5 foot nothing,
I guess not
weigh 100
play,
nothing.
but you could be like the towel
Rudy.
person. You know, the ones that wipe stuff.
I could do that. I'm a good towel wiper upper.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe
Good.
next time.
Next time you ask me that question,
Okay.
I'll be a towel wiper upper.
So number 3.
Yes.
What is your number 1 source of motivation that are not your family or kids?
Wow, that's a good question. So
Thank
what
you.
what motivates me?
Yes, that are not family and kids.
You know for a fact that I'm kind of not wired right in the sense of how I do things. I'm OCD on my days. So just to kind of go back a little bit, I wake up, 4:15.
Oh, wait.
Yes.
I've been watching your shorts.
Oh, look at you.
And they inspire me, but I still cannot wake up early to get my day started. I really wish I could be like you in that aspect.
No, you don't, man. There's a lot going on in this thing. There's a whole bunch. There's no vacancy signs in my head. So to answer your question of what motivates me besides that, I wake up 4:15, and the first thing I do, obviously, is I read and I write and I pray. So I think that what motivates me more than anything, besides my family and my kids, because that's a major motivation in my life. I would say 2 things motivate my faith, what I believe in and what I believe I can do. And the second thing that motivates me is the people that trust me. There's a lot of employees and a lot of people that look to me for answers and look to me to go to either the next thing or to make them better. And that motivates me to make sure I'm on my A game quite a bit.
That's a lot of pressure.
No, I don't. It's I don't think it's pressure when you're in it and you like it. There's days and times that are stressful. I mean, if you look at an industry in a whole, if you look at any kind of industry in a whole, we're in a tough time. I mean, the economy's in a tough time. The inflation's high. The recession looming if we're not already in it. So I think that if you kind of focus 100% on that, you're never going to get to any other side of any kind of motivation, inspiration, or just you want to be better. You're focusing on all the things you don't have or the things that you're losing. It's a lot easier to do that than it is to look at the things that you do have, the faith that you have, and the people that trust you, so you can come up with the ideas so they can be better.
Right. That inspired me now.
Look at that, Jen. Your guest is doing okay then?
Yes.
Okay, good.
You're doing fabulous.
Oh, excellent.
Fabulous job. I might bring you back for the next episode.
We'll see who cancels next week, and maybe I'm going to have to.
Okay, so number 4. At what age did you become this person who is motivated and has the right mindset?
Another great question. So at what age?
Yeah, when did that change come about?
I didn't realize I was different in the way that I did things until probably I was 15. And at that time, my football coach realized that I had leadership abilities that I didn't even know existed. And he looked at me and he said, listen, you have two ways you can take this. People follow you, and you're able to get people to do some things that maybe they don't want to do, but you use that for good or bad. And right now you're using it for bad, because I was doing it where I was screwing around and people were following me that not showing up practice on time because I was not knowing I was leading them. So he sat me down and said, look, you can use this for good or bad. You can actually help this team and actually lead people and motivate them to be more and do more, or you can keep screwing around and getting them to do it not to their full potential. And I would say I was about 15 years old when I realized there is a difference, because I thought we were all the same.
Right.
I think as kids, everybody thinks like they're not different until they realize like I look different. My hair's not the same. And you kind of come to this conclusion, and that's where things get weird when, kids start getting the insecurities of they are different. I was just lucky enough to have a football coach who saw it within me.
Right.
Yeah. Who told me this, and you can use it for good or bad. And I still used it for bad, though. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I wish I could say I used it all for good at that time, but
I mean, you were 15.
Yeah.
Mistakes were made.
Right? Mistakes were made in plenty.
Well, 15 is a young age.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Okay.
Right? Is it not?
Very young. Absolutely. Having it now, like if you were to say that, like when I was, I don't know, late teens or 20s, I wouldn't say it was like a young age. But now that I have like a 17-year-old, an 18-year-old, and a 10-year-old. Yeah. It's really young. Really, really young. But again, when you go back to me not being wired right, I mean, I was 18 starting in a world of selling to people in their, late 30s, 40s, and 50s. I mean, I just didn't know any better.
Somehow it all ties together.
It does?
It does.
Okay.
Right?
Well,
it just takes you to the next step in life. It all makes sense.
If you let it make sense in your mind, a lot of things happen and life's not accidental. So I think people just look at stuff and go, gosh, I got lucky. Well, the opportunity arose because you put yourself in a position to be lucky.
Right.
And a lot of people, even at a young age, don't look back and say, like, that was awesome because of this.
Right.
Rather than just blowing it off and going, it's that old saying that I won the lottery, but I got to pay taxes. Right? You can look at it that way.
So true. That's the number one thing that everyone says.
It is. It is.
Okay. Well, number 5. If you could interview one person, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you ask?
Oh, you did tell me. There was no pre-show prep on this. If I was to interview anybody in dead or alive, who would it be? And we're going to take it a little bit past. Besides Jesus, okay? I mean, we'll go a little further. Besides that, dead or alive, I would really, I think 2 people.
Okay.
If you get a 2-person answer, I think both are alive. Would be Tiger Woods. I would love to. Ooh. I would love to find out a little bit on the focus and motivation. You're talking at a young age. For me, it was massively at them, and then the ups and downs he had. He had some massive ups and some massive downs in his life. Through massive adversity and through addiction and a lot of stuff. So it would be a great conversation to have. And the crazy part when you're asking these questions, my mind works different because I'm asking him how to help other people. Is that weird?
No.
Do you see what I'm saying?
I think that's great.
I'm thinking of these people, asking them questions, but the questions I'm wanting the answers to are not just for me. It's for like
everyone else listening.
I get to tell a story.
Right.
My mind works in the sense where I want to interview him because that story I get to repeat to tell other people. Someone at the highest level then became at the lowest level, but then became at the highest level again, but then became at the middle level and then got injured. And then so there'd be so much to the story to overcoming adversity, no matter what degree you're at. You could be a billionaire or the number 1 golfer in the world for years and years and years. And shit's not easy.
Right. Something might happen.
Something always does happen.
Yeah, something did happen.
To bounce back. Second person would be Adam Sandler, just because I find it hilarious and it would be a great story. Again, at a young age, in the progression he had to when people were looking down and saying that you can't do the things that you did, and he did and continues to do it at a high level. So those are my 2 people, even though you asked for 1.
I appreciate both answers. Thank you.
But Jesus would be number 1 because that'd be a hell of a story.
Yeah,
I could tell that.
So you have 3.
If I could interview him, and so this would be 3. Okay, good point.
Okay. Well, Number 6, what is on your bucket list?
Play Augusta. That is probably the biggest thing, that the focus of anything. If I could find the 7 degrees of separation of someone who's a member who knows someone who knows someone who knows someone that is a member at Augusta, that would be on my bucket list.
Okay. Can I tell you something?
That you know someone that's a member at Augusta?
That I don't know what Augusta is. I'm sorry.
Jen, I love you. Augusta, Georgia is a golf course. It's a prestigious golf course. That's probably one of the hardest golf courses for anybody to play. Private course. They have the Masters there every year. And the Masters is called a major in golf, and it's one of the ones, if you win, it's a life-changing tournament to win. But not too many people get to say they played that golf course.
And where is this golf course?
Georgia, Augusta, Georgia. It's not really in like a big city or anything like that. It's just a prestigious, for many, many, tradition is huge.
Wow.
So just in case you run into somebody, if you happen to date a professional golfer one of these days, can you do me a favor?
I'll let them know.
Can you let them know that you interviewed a guy that wants to play Augusta?
Oh, goodness. I'll let them know.
Thank
I'll
you.
find someone. I'll hunt someone down.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, number 7. Who is your celebrity crush? Are you allowed to answer this? If not, we can skip.
My wife, because she's a huge celebrity, and I wouldn't look at any other girl ever besides my wife. You know, it used to be, you know how everybody that's married has like, what's the one person that you can't get mad at, or is my, what do they call it? The one, what's it? What's it? My hall pass. That's right.
Oh, the hall pass.
What is my hall pass? I never had one. She never even hall pass. But a secret crush probably would have been Jessica Alba.
Oh, that's a good one. And it's not a secret because it's on the podcast. Okay, I'm just letting you know.
That is, I'm probably, well, she listens to it. So she's a subscriber. So, but she already knew that. And it used to be, not so much anymore. I don't think, yeah, I think, most celebrities are attractive in most ways. I don't think I have a crush in some way. But that, if you were to ask my wife, like who my celebrity crush, she would probably say Jessica Alba.
Okay, that's a good answer.
That is a good answer. That my wife would agree.
Yes.
I'm okay that she's really the person
that she is number one.
Number
the
one
only,
crush.
One and
but
only.
Let's say if just in general, if I was thinking about somebody else, it might be Jessica Alba.
Okay, number 8. What is your feel-good song?
I got a bunch.
Okay.
If you look at my playlist, I've got a bunch. Bouncing Back by Mystical is a good one.
I'm just going to nod because I
you
have no idea.
Okay. Good Morning is what I wake up to.
Every day?
That song. Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah, it's my alarm.
Oh. You have a song for your alarm?
Yeah. Doesn't everybody? Am I?
No.
Really?
I have like a beep, 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 little.
You could change it to a song. So when you start that song, it's a motivational song.
See, but I do it for another reason. I want that annoying noise so then I can get up and like turn it off.
Oh. Well, I have a lot of annoying noises in my life already. So
good morning. Okay. Wow.
I go different. Like, so what is it? Like, what are my motivational songs? Is that
I don't know. Like, when you're having a bad day and you just play this song and
Pat Benatar, All Fired Up is another great one. That's a good one. I think that AMG, Bitch Better Have My Money, depending on what mood I'm in. That's another good one. Tupac, Hit 'Em Up is another probably one that I get when I'm a little frustrated with some people.
Okay, you have a variety.
Ice Cube, Back That Ass Up is depending on where I am. That's another motivation. Where I am. That's so yeah.
Wow.
There's my playlist is extensive.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well, thank you for that.
Wu-Tang too. If you want some Wu-Tang in there, you got some of that.
I appreciate some Wu-Tang.
Right.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, number 9.
All right.
What is your idea of a perfect date?
What is my idea of a perfect date?
Yes.
With my wife.
Yes.
Okay. So I think a perfect date we would start in.
Oh, wait, money is not an issue.
Money's not an issue.
So get creative.
Wow.
Private jet. I don't know.
So we would go and get a private jet.
You just took my idea.
Just took your idea. We would head to Italy.
Ooh.
We would stop. First stop would be in Sicily. And then we would, do a little bit of the tourist stuff. we'd go by Bari, which, some of my family's from Sicily and Bari. And we'd kind of look at, try to see a little bit of the roots of the Manginellis. We'd eat, just one day?
Yes, just one day.
Well, we had a lot to do.
I guess it's a weekend now.
I just turned it into a weekend. So, no, I guess it would be Sicily then. If it was just that day, we'd fly there as, it would take the longest. I'm going to have to change that because the day is going to be, it's too long. The flight's too long to get there to spend the day. So I'm going to go to, maybe if we fly to a wine country of some sort with my wife, we do some wine tasting, which we did. And then we have dinner and then we fly back. It's a pretty nice date.
That sounds like a great date.
Yeah.
Okay, now make it happen.
Okay.
You make it happen.
Okay. Just if anybody, if there's a GoFundMe for Dan's date, could everybody just go online right now and head to the GoFundMe page to get Dan to go have a date in Napa. Got it.
Okay, we'll start that. I don't know if people would donate, but.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, number 10, and to close out our question.
That's it, 10 questions? That's the 10 things to know about Dan today. Okay, hit me up.
If you could tell your former self one thing right now, what would it be?
Former self being as a kid or former self as I'm dead and I'm looking back on it? Like what?
As like a teen, As
a teen. So if I also look back at myself, I would say that people don't care as much about you as you think they do. I think I spent a lot of time, as you just said when I was saying that, I had a degree of people can follow you or you can do stuff, and I did stuff in a bad way. I think if I was to go back, I would tell myself on treating people probably much nicer through high school, and making their experience way better, because I thought my ego took over where I was, where I thought I was too popular or I thought I was too much, that I had the ability to change people, and all I did was probably hurt people. Mm-hmm. So the one big thing I think I would change is actually read a book. Would probably study a little bit more so I could spell. Learn vocabulary, learn vocabulary and grammar so I could actually speak.
Punctuation.
And then add punctuation on that too. And then I would say on, how I treated people. If I was to go back to myself and say, you're not as important as you think you are. Just like that.
That was a little deep for me.
That was. You're like,
what do you mean?
I knew that guy. He was an ass. Why was he so mean to me? Because he didn't know any better. That's why. So just in case, if you're going back, that would be the case.
Well, that's all for today. Those are all my questions.
Those are all your questions? Well, tell them. Now you got to wrap. Now you're running the show here, Sweet Pea.
Do I look that way?
You can look right into that camera.
Because I've been looking that way.
Okay, well, the camera's actually on that side. But you can look. You can look anyway. Any way you'd like. Let me look. I'm running the board like you usually do. Is there? Oh, you can go some noises, I think, right? Go ahead.
Okay. That's all for this week's episode. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas. What is with the sound?
Kids are on fire. Sorry, go ahead. It's kind of fun.
Thank you for joining us this week. Well, thank you for joining me interviewing Dan. I know everyone wants to know so much about him. I'll have you on next week's podcast.
Could you? I'm gonna see what I'm doing. I might cancel last minute just to let you know.
Well,
how can people subscribe to your podcast, Jen?
To your podcast?
Yes, go with that.
Where's the Focus podcast? I don't know what it is. I don't know what the handle is, but there you go. And make sure you watch the whole thing, please. Thank you very much. Comment, like, share, subscribe, and until next week, make dreams come true. That's what he says.
Have fun and make dreams come true. Jen, you rocked it, sister.
Thank you.
I love it. Thanks, guys, who listened to the whole thing. I really appreciate it. It was fun.
Yeah.
See?